Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to make a crank handle for an Apache. Now this is something that everybody with a pop-up camper needs, especially if they have this type of lift system. And so I want to show you how easy it is and how you can kind of customize it to your own application. Now this is my favorite right here for my particular camper. And what I use is there's a stainless steel screw through here on your lift box, and then it's got a nylock nut on it, and a nylock nut has nylon on the end so that it won't come unscrewed, you know, due to vibration or going down the road. Now my particular application, I have this flex head ratchet. I use a 6-inch extension, and then I've got a 3/4 inch deep socket, and I cut a groove into it about 3/4 of an inch deep with an electric grinder. Just one of these right here. You could also use a die grinder like that. You just clamp that socket down in a vise and you cut a groove wide enough for your screw to fit through, and you want fairly good depth, which I did about 3/4 of an inch here. And you want the socket to be a fairly tight fit. You don't want it to flop around. That's why I chose the 3/4 inch. Now the metric equivalent is a 19mm, so this would work just fine as well. Now, if you have a smaller camper that has a lighter roof, say like a Mesa that doesn't have the paneling or anything, you can use a shorter ratchet as well. On this application though, this is a Ramada, it has the paneling, it has a much bigger roof, so I use a larger ratchet so I have more leverage. Now, say you want a longer crank handle, that's pretty easy, because once you have the socket, you can put almost anything on it. So if you want a longer one, say you want it to be flexible, you can put a wobbly on it and then add a 3-foot extension. And then all of a sudden, you've got a longer crank handle. And so if you don't like kneeling down by your Apache and you want to be able to stand up a little bit, you can add extensions. You can add as much as you want. So that's pretty handy. Now, a great place to purchase these items is like a pawn shop or a yard sale. You go to a pawn shop, you could probably get this socket for like $1. I'm sure there's probably ratchets there for, you know, a couple dollars, and this extension came from a pawn shop as well. So, you know, for under 10 bucks, you could build your crank system. And say you don't have a grinder at home, you can easily go to any auto body shop, or if you know somebody that does construction, they're pretty well guaranteed to have one of these grinders, and if you explain to them what you want, you know, it'd only take them a minute to make it, and you know, maybe you could trade them a 6-pack of beer, I don't know. So instead of buying an expensive crank handle, which, I mean, you can do that as well, Apache Parts sells those, you can build your own and customize it to your own application. If you've got a Yuma or a Mesa, you can use a small one. You could go as short as you want. I use a 6-inch extension, or as long as you want. So I hope this helps you guys out, and happy camping.